Okay, the recording has started. Okay, so okay, okay. So I guess it's a good time to start this awesome webinar. So welcome once again. Good evening, good evening, good evening to you all from everywhere you're joining. Happy to have you tonight. It's has been long anticipated, become a global asset. So this is an opportunity to find what fits you or where you fit into the tech space. Because our belief and our mindset is that tech is actually for everyone. And if it is for everyone, everyone should have equal opportunity and equal access into the tech space. So we want everybody to be able to join, irrespective of background, irrespective of race or what have you. We want everybody to be able to join. It's the opportunity that comes with tech that matters here. And I'm going to be sharing my experience and things that I've experienced personally in the tech space. And we have our amazing speaker here as well. So I'm going to be showing you what my journey has been like and how this has been for me. And also I'll be talking to asking some questions from our speaker, which who is also going to be giving us a lot of insights. So stay to the end of the webinar because I have please mute yourself as you join the call. Thank you. Thank you for complying. So not to take too much of our time, so let's get started into this. So I was saying you should stay till the end. If you are starting out a career, stay till the end if you have started a career already. Stay till the end if you look at bringing someone into the tech space as well. But the goal of this training, by the time we are done with this webinar, one of the things that would happen to you is that your perspective will change about this tech of the thing that we've talked about all the while. So I'll be your host tonight and about today's webinar. So we'll delve into empowering stories and insights that will inspire you to unleash your true potential in tech. Like I mentioned earlier, everybody, or let me say everyone, tech is actually for everybody. Nobody is, tech is for nobody to say. Tech is for nobody. Anybody can choose to do anything in tech. So it doesn't really matter what background you're coming from. So I'm going to be sharing some of my stories and things that I have done in the past and how tech personally has changed my life. So I used to be, yes, I would say I was just an ordinary person as well at the beginning of my career. And it was just all about, I wanted to do something. So before I entered tech, it was all about, it was all about me living the normal life. In fact, I wanted to become a lecturer. Yes, that has always been my aspiration and what I wanted to be. You know, it's just all about the dream. The kind of dream I was having then was just confined in a box. So, which is, I want to become a lecturer. I just wanted to live life the normal way anybody wanted to live. But until I found out a path, which is tech, and how I found myself inside this kind of environment called tech, and how today I've been opportune to travel to several places across the world, and even I've been able to make some remarkable progress so far. How I've led products and led innovations that the whole country has used in the past. That's one of them. And how I'm also working on projects and different products that are currently taking shape in the market. And what do I do at the moment? Yes, I am a product manager. So I lead products. So over the years, all the things I've done so far has been centered around software engineering. And after I pick up software engineering as a career, uh, based on my passion and interest, what I found out later on was I have this great passion to lead people, to help people start a career in tech, and also to also like build products. So I will call myself someone who is much more passionate about getting things done, bringing out products into the market. I found my feet, and at the very end, today, as I'm talking to you, I've worked on, in the identity sector where I manage the whole NIN solution that is being used in Nigeria at the moment. I have done this where I manage this for 1 full year as a product manager, a technical one at that. Also, I am working on other projects which are going to be coming out very soon, and I've been able to take my knowledge of tech, or knowledge that I have had in tech. I've been able to move across countries, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Togo, and several other places across the world, and even in Nigeria here. So my journey has been more of training people and help people get started into tech, and how people can actually find their feet in tech. So what exactly does it mean to be a global asset? So if we term someone to be a global asset, what we're saying invariably is that you have what the whole world is looking for. You have what it takes to be where you are and be valuable to people outside your jurisdiction and even within your jurisdiction. We have all of this. So before I just continue, I would like to also introduce Perfection Love Day. He's our speaker for today. He's a software engineer that is busy doing juju. Perfection, can we have you on the call? Hello, Perfection, are you there?
Yeah. Good evening or good
Yeah,
night. Not
absolutely.
precisely.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, great. So, okay, thank you, Perfection. So, as I was actually saying, what does it mean to be a global asset? So, the word global asset is actually a term. It's actually something we have brought out from how you can be somewhere, and how you can have what the whole world is looking for. So, what does it mean to have what the whole world is looking for? So, I'm not just going to be talking about it from the realms of, oh, you should just have what the whole world is looking for, or I'm talking about having a skill that somebody can pay you for. At a point, I did not have the skill that someone can pay me all the way from Poland, all the way from United States, all the way from Germany. So I'm just talking about places that I have directly used my skill, that I have gotten money from. Of course, they don't spend naira in all these kind of places I'm talking about. I'm going to be showing you how you can have a skill and get what you're looking for. Because one of the things everybody should note is that it's not just the skill that you have that actually gets you this thing, but the primary background is what you have to offer the whole world. What exactly do you have to offer the whole world? If you don't have what the whole world is looking for, it will be difficult for you to actually make substantial progress. So, which we know that if you have what the whole world is looking for, or what people are looking for, then you can say that if I have this value, then I am worth being paid this certain amount. It is no longer a news to most people that tech is actually what we call the new oil. The concept of the new oil is actually talking about where the money is. So, where exactly is the money back? Yes, truth be told, it's actually in tech. And as I speak to you right now, the tech has come to change the face of things. Back then to when people were using the manual process, look at your financial industry now. We have the likes of POS, we have the likes of ATM cards, we have the likes of star 737. We have the likes of mobile application, and some of these applications which have replaced people that failed to join tech. So one of the things I want to say is that tech has not just come to replace people, but has come to remove some people from the workforce. And who are these people tech has come to remove from the workforce? First, these are people that have chosen not to embrace tech. And don't be like, okay, if I choose to embrace tech, what exactly am I supposed to be doing? No, that's one of the things. it is not to scare you, but it's actually to bring a good news to you. Look at the situation. Okay, I know many people are actually joining me from Nigeria as I speak right now, or say Africa as a whole. Look at the situation of things in all Africa. If you get to work remotely, maybe you are opportune to work and earn, even if it is $1,000, right? Outside, out here. If you are paid $1,000, definitely you are working from outside of the country. You have the opportunity to be paid this particular amount. Trust me, you are far better than most people working in the bank. You are far better. Let me say, earning more than most people working in the bank. Don't even talk about people in the education sector, especially universities. Lecturers. Don't even talk about that. You are earning far more than them if you earn just $1,000. And it's really very rare for you to see a job that is offering you $1,000. And when we're talking about tech, because that's not even up to the minimum wage over there. And this value you have is the same thing, same value people that work at Facebook, Google, Amazon. Just talk about any of the global companies that you know. We're talking about having either a coding skill or any of the skill, other technical skills around tech. So if you have these skills that everybody is actually looking for, that is the first step that anybody that wants to become a global asset needs to have. So how did I find myself inside most of these things? So it's just all about, let me learn coding. And this was how I got my first connection into Germany. So where I have just a skill, and what exactly was the skill I had? I just had web development skill. Having a web development skill, which was JavaScript, yes, then PHP, and yes, I could just build a website. And this was exactly how I got my first job. I had this, and somebody just connected me that they need someone who does this. And the person happens to be someone out of the country. Look at this. You might say that was a luck, right? Trust me, there are so many opportunities that have come your way that you have recommended other people for. But you never knew that you could have been in that situation to have been recommended. The question I want to ask is, what did you have? Somebody reached out to me all the way from Germany for me to build a website for him. So now it's not a thing of it is just luck, or I was just privileged. Call it a privilege, but then what exactly do I have to offer the world? I had what exactly he was looking for. If I have what they are looking for all over the world, then I am supposed to be able to get the reward of these people. So the first stage of even saying you want to become a global asset, you want to be a valuable asset that is sought out around the world, you need to have a recommended skill. Web development was one of the things that transformed my life. Today, I am a product manager, but then and also an entrepreneur, right? By doing this, one of the things that I have noticed is that the first very skill that I had gave me, helped me to move. So that was the first momentum. So I was able to move from the ground zero into the first ground. So what were the things I was doing all the way then? All I was doing then was just, okay, I could just repair laptops and all of those things then. How many laptops will I repair to get $1,000? I'm just coming from the minimum. How many laptops do I have to repair to get $1,000? How many laptops do I have to repair to get $5,000? Trust me, I would say sadly, you may not be able to get all of this in just a month. All right. You may not be able to get this, but do I have a skill that can earn me this? Yes. So after doing this, I was able to improve myself further. So I picked up web development and I delivered very well efficiently. And this was the same way I got my second job. So what exactly was my second job? So as of today, I could do things around hardware, so which is embedded systems, control, robotics, as you know, and all. So this is one of the things, one of the skills that I have. And as I speak to you right now, for the past 5 years, someone, let me not say someone, a company has been paying me or a company has been paying me so well in dollars to teach people around the world. Averagely, I have been to more than 18 states in this same country. I've been to more than 3 countries just because I had one skill that the old world was looking for. I could teach tech. I could teach tech. I could teach tech, but if I don't have the background knowledge of exactly what I want to teach, how do I dispense this particular information out there? So, which means sponsored trips. After sponsoring your trips, in fact, let me say the best of places that I have been today, they have just been sponsored. All I need to do is to show up and get the benefit of most of the things that I may not even imagine myself um, doing. So one of the things that I have observed about life is that those things that you actually admire, those things that you see on Instagram, that you see at different places that you actually admire, trust me, most of those things you do, they are not actually the major things. If you focus more on developing yourself on something, all these things you are seeing online, they will come by default. As I speak to you, the first time I saw myself, I mean, going on international travel, it was maybe, let me say, I just woke up and I found myself there. What do I mean? I know it's one thing to aspire to get somewhere, right? And it's one thing to just discover that before you open your eyes, you are there. There are places whereby I felt like, oh, would I have been able to like enter this kind of places? Oh, but it was just based on this. Let me tell you another thing. So I earned my product management certification from the University of Cape Town. Trust me, how many Nigerians will just wake up one day and say they want to invest up to $800 to take a course? Trust me, anybody can meet me today and say, I've met people who have said, oh, I love the way you actually handle products. I love your interpretation of products, your domain expertise. I mean, how you enter products and all. Most people never knew that these were some of the things I learned from this particular school. I can point it and say, this is where I learned. But then, what if I did not have the capital to further my studies of product management? Trust me, the courses you would learn on Udemy can never give you the same benefits of what you will learn in a course where they are charging $5,000. Go to product school, go to their website, you see thousands of dollars that you have to pay to take some courses. You can never pick some of these courses. And what am I saying? If you are able to get the minimum of skill minimum of skill that can get you the first set of income, progressing in life will not be difficult. So, which means becoming a global asset is a progressive step, but then you have to start from somewhere, having something that the whole world is looking out for. If you don't have what the whole world is looking out for, it will be difficult for you to be where you really want to be. Take it away from tech. Let's take it to the normal level. If you don't have what somebody is looking for outside there, or even in your jurisdiction as business, as we talk about business, if you don't have these things, it will be difficult for somebody to give you money. And they say, why should I dash you money? No, it wouldn't be a thing of dashing you money any longer. It would be, okay, I can afford it. So how can you live the best of life that you want to live? How can you live the best of life that you want to live? Yes, personally, I am still in my own journey as well. But what I am able to achieve within a short period of time of starting out my life, it's not something I would look back and say I would have gotten this far, but something helped me. So now, how was I able to manage a whole product that the whole Nigeria is using? A product that has enrolled over 40 million Nigerians for NIN. So this is just something that one of the things I share with people, like, oh, you can call it a privilege, but if you don't have the skill to stay inside such products, you will not be able to cope. You will not be able to cope in such scenario. So which means opportunities are always coming to you, but you may never know that they are actually opportunities because you don't have the right skill. Has anybody ever asked you, like, do you know anybody that was a developer? Do you know anybody that writes PHP? And you are, doing free will, and or say someone that writes JavaScript. Unconsciously, you are actually referring people that are your friends. to do this. I'm not saying you should not refer your friends or things, but when those things are actually things that you could have been doing, things that you could have picked up to be doing. So, which means if you do not have what the whole world is looking out for, it will be difficult for you to say you want to kickstart what it means to become a global asset. One of the things that I just wanted to do earlier is just to charge you this night. Like, okay, if you want to become this said person, because that's actually where we are going. If you're going to become such person, it is your skill. You need to embrace some skill sets that somebody is looking out for out there. I have interfaced with both white and black people I never knew I would interface with in my life. So I was barely in my third year or fourth year. Yeah, no, my third year in school when I started working with global companies. As a matter of fact, I was writing my final year project and my supervisor just came and he met. So my supervisor had just asked some set of people, right? That she picked in for the project student. So and she said, "Oh, I hope you guys know that you're actually earning more than me." We all laughed. But as funny as it was actually, it was, this person is actually a professor. And this person was saying, do you know you guys earn more than me? People that have not even graduated as at then from school. And one of the things I want to point out here is that the things you never thought you could achieve in 3 years, having a technical skill, having a coding skill, or even any skill in tech will give you a leverage, would push you forward because trust me, you want to achieve something. And I know a lot of people that I have like a lot of life goals. Like, oh, I want to have real estate, I want to invest in real estate, I want to invest in this. Of course, if you have enough money to fuel your dreams, it's not going to be very difficult for you to fuel it. Some people actually want to retire at 40. Some people want to even retire at 35 or at 45. A lot of us have aspirations, but if we don't take the necessary step that takes us into this aspiration, it will be difficult to actually achieve that thing that you feel like this is what I want to achieve. I'm calling everyone here tonight, like to become a global asset, it has to do with who you are exactly, and who you are is more of what do you have to offer the world out there. So I just have some questions before I welcome our speaker. I have some questions I would like to just ask our speaker, and when I'm done, I would also permit us to ask our questions if we have questions. All right, Professor, can you unmute? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Professor, okay, so we just want to know more about you at first, like, okay, who exactly is Perfection? So just talk to us about what you do, something. We just want to know something interesting about Perfection.
Yeah. Good night. Um, so as we probably already know and see on the shared screen, my name is Perfection. Um, Perfection Loveday. I'm a software engineer, and I have my background in physics and mathematics, but that doesn't necessarily determine sort of like whatever you choose to be, right? So naturally, someone who has a background in physics or mathematics will probably spend a lot of their career uh, maybe teaching university students or something, right? To be like a lecturer. But uh, because are you sure the audio is cutting out or it's a network thing?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's a network thing for the other person. Wisdom, I think it's a network thing for you. All right. So as I was saying, basically I have a background in physics, mathematics, and but I'm not spending my time lecturing. I mean, I teach people, but definitely not educational. It's not formal education. So I decided to go into software instead because of my interest in software. So over the past few years of software engineering, right? I've been opportune to work with the very best in developers, engineers, very best in people crafting products, right? And we've been able to like do quite a number of things, build on some products that some of you might have come across and some of you might not have, right? Uh, so I've had the opportunity to work with brands both nationally and internationally, right? And it's been a forthcoming experience. So that's basically just a brief overview of my software experience and myself in general.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Perfection, for that. For that. So we're glad to meet you. So when it comes to the concept of global assets, what do you have to say? I mean, what do you have to say?
Yeah, so I think that's one thing we have to set clear, the idea of becoming a global asset. So it's generally, I mean, we definitely know or should know what an asset refers to, right? So it's basically something that is of value, right? That's what an asset is. It's something of value. They say something is a liability, something is an asset, right? So you say, for example, you have a vehicle. Depending on the way you use the vehicle, it could be a liability and it could be an asset. A vehicle is a car, in case you guys don't know what I'm saying, right? So now, being an asset and adding the concept of global to it, it refers to the fact that you're an asset, that you are basically something of value across scales that are beyond your region, right? Scales that extend further into other regions. So you hear people saying, "Oh, I'm working with a company in the US. I'm working in a company, in the UK. I'm working with companies in this place, that place." The reason why they're able to like push beyond and work in those type of places or extend to that scale is because they are global in the value they have, right? They possess value that is global enough. And one thing you should look at is that the world is approaching digital scopes, right? The more things we do, the more everything gets digital. This doesn't eliminate the necessity of having things that are non-digital, right? We always have non-digital stuff, right? Probably people doing fashion design, all those things. But it's important to note that even with these non-digital things, we still have all of them inclining towards digital stuff, right? You see people doing fashion designs having tablets. What are they doing with the tablets, right? They say it's for their work. So what are they doing with the tablet? What they are doing with the tablet is they are crafting designs on the tab, right? Before you start making the clothing you want to probably fashion out, you probably first of all design it. We have people that their own fashion design is like having the digital part to it, where they design the clothing, right? They use softwares like Adobe InDesign, Illustrator, those type of things, sort of like craft what they want to do, right? And when they are done, they start making it into something people can put on. So now that digital part is a skill somebody can possess. It's something that someone can hire you for. There's literally like a lot of skill sets you can possess that they are all part of the tech space. So that's why when they say tech is for everyone, it's something that you just have to know that there are different parts for you in the tech space, right? Tech literally refers to technology, right? And digital stuffs are technology inclined. So that's the idea when they say, oh, tech. Tech doesn't necessarily refer to like code and all of that. So being global is like you possess these digital skills that you can use anywhere, right? It doesn't also have to be digital only. It could be regular non-digital skills, right? But that is very well possible and in demand, right, in different regions, right? So we know that these skills are in demand. You could be doing robotics, you could be doing embedded systems. You could have experience with Internet of Things technology, right? You could have experience with a ton of these things, right? This particular type of like skill sets are things that position you for global opportunities. And because you are positioned for global opportunities, you have the skill, you become an asset that is valuable on a global scale. So that's basically what it takes to be a global asset.
Oh, wow. Thank you. So you have actually mentioned some key things, which is not essentially like just having technical skill alone. It could be several other skills too. that you can have. The goal is to have what the whole world or what people are looking for out there. All right, thank you for that. So now I want to ask this question. So what were those things that you did right that helped you in tech? Because okay, I've listened to some of your uh, podcast or some of your meet before, and I've had some conversation earlier with you before. What were those things that you actually did early enough that helped you bootstrap your career as fast as possible? Like with or platforms or resources or things that you actually did that you were very intentional about that helped you.
Yeah. So essentially, one, I think this is like one of those important parts we sort of like have to review, right? Those important parts we have to sort of like talk about. Because when people talk about like tech skills, global asset based skills, right? The content is sort of like being around the thought process of thinking it's a rapid scheme, right? That you could probably just pick up these skills and just break through all of a sudden. It's not in that dimension. It sort of like requires some commitment. It requires like a lot of like effort, right? It requires like that passion for what you're doing, right? Um, Whatever is your driving force, it could be anything, it could literally be anything, but you just need to have that commitment, something that drives you. And these things then will now forward you into like taking action. And the action now you are taking has to be very, very positive, like being the right action, right? Because when they say, oh, yeah, I'm doing something and it's not working out, you might be doing something, you have the commitment and you're pushing and pressing forward, but you're not taking the right action. So you might not see the results you expect to see in the time frame you expect to get that result. So some of the things that I myself like it's really just forward into like a single explanation, right? Is basically reaching out and asking questions as necessary, right? Trying to like go around a structured path. So something that is very important is like structure. You get started with what you are doing, you know nothing about this thing, right? You need to be able to put yourself on a structured path, right? So setting myself on a structured path is sort of like an important foundation in like whatever particular progress I might have made, right? Because I mean, over time, I've also like gone around trying to navigate things without a particular sort of like structured orientation, right? But it was only when there's a structured orientation that there's like faster progress, being able to like move faster. And you just have to know that that commitment has to be necessarily there, right? You need to have commitment to like do what you are doing before you definitely can keep making that much progression I want to make. And you have to understand that you have to see the picture in this perspective that I'm doing this particular thing. And even though mine might be taking longer than that of another person, it doesn't necessarily mean it can't work out because you just have to look at those who have gone before, right? That there are many that have gone before and they've done this particular thing and it worked out, right? So knowing that will give you the consistency, the that morale, that zeal to be able to like persist in what you are doing, knowing fully well that as I continue to put the right effort, I'm going to make that much progress. So the right effort is very important and it's really centered around something that is very structured, right? So taking a structured approach to anything, right, is very, very important, right? So you might not really see the benefit until you really like get into a structured environment and you will see that taking that structured path to anything and coupling it with your commitment and motivation to keep doing and keep pressing on will really make like the most difference in accelerating your career in whatever space you choose to be in.
Wow, wow, wow. So one of the things that I actually picked from what you said is being on a structured path. So and being in a structured path has to do with things like having like right guidance or being under a particular structure that helps you. Just like when I was talking to, I mentioned something like that. Or I mean, going into a school of products is different from just going somewhere and just saying you want to go online, you want to do this. Yes, that can help too. But when it comes to rapid growth, plugging yourself into structure is as important as anything you could think of. and how this really help, and also the right motivation. As tech is actually not a gets rich quick scheme. How you just think, I just get there today and I want to start making money tomorrow. Of course, I will not. I mean, I've mentored different people in tech. Of someone who started DevOps career, just started it with a scholarship then, and before you know it, they just got them retained. There are people that actually started like that and they got the opportunity early, or they have a good network of people. That's why as you are building whatever you're building or you're developing yourself, network is actually very good, because that's one of the ways of getting recommended as fast as possible. So I picked that as well. So thank you, perfection. So I still have like a couple of questions here that I would like to ask. So I know you understand the importance of having like a good resume, or say a powerful resume. And yes, you really need to see the kind of resume that you probably see with perfection. So I know that you have the idea and the importance of it. So what can you say about having good resume, and how has it helped you? Or what are the content? What do you have to say about having a good resume, powerful one at that, in terms of getting both local and foreign jobs? What were those things that you were intentional about when you were coming up with your resume? Because yes, I know you have a lot to share around that. So let me just give you the floor.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Yeah. The concept of being able to like link up yourself with global opportunities. You have the skill set. That's for sure. Let's say, oh yeah, you have the skill sets. You know you are exceptional at what you do. I mean, exceptional is relative though. So it's important to know that you don't have to be the most genius person everywhere. You just have to be able to like position yourself in such a way that what you know it very well. Right. When you have that skill, the next thing is being able to like uh put yourself out there for them to be able to like, reach out to you or grant you the opportunity you desire. And all these particular things are embedded in like job applications and all of that. So you apply to a particular position, and then the first thing you are getting is a rejection just like few seconds after or something, right? I mean, we've had people that have applied to jobs and just like I myself, like literally minutes after it was a rejection, right? So the idea of all of these things are basically like what made me figure, oh, something must be wrong then for you to apply and in a few minutes you get a rejection. So the thing is, the rejection that is coming during those periods are actually automated rejections. They are not they're not based on human review. It's just a particular like artificial intelligence stuff that's been written to just respond. And those things literally just look for a particular parameter in your resume. And when it can't find it, it assumes right you don't fit the particular role that they've crafted out. So one of those things is like the first and foremost thing is your resume really needs to be crafted to suit the particular role you're applying to. So, right, you want to apply to this particular role. You could literally have like multiple resumes for different roles that you're applying to. Or you could have one resume that you modify for each role you're applying to. So you see something you want to apply to it, you know that your resume currently doesn't fully align completely. Modify your resume to have those information. So let's say, for example, your resume says you're a full stack engineer and you are trying to apply for a role that also your resume says you're a backend engineer, right? And you're trying to apply for a role that is full stack and you know you have experience with full stack, but you try to do more of backend, and your resume is inclined towards backend, you should edit that resume, right, to be crafted towards full stack, all right, such that you put like full stack things as pointers. Because when that particular software is checking through your resume automatically, it tries to look for, oh, full stack, no full stack yet, boom, then it assumes that you are not fit for the role. So those type of things are things that you have to look out for. Then one important thing is also like your experience level, right? So some roles are specific, like, oh, this particular role requires this amount of years of experience, right? So once you know you match that experience level, let it be clear in your resume that this is my year of experience that is I'm having so amount of experience. So I'm a software engineer with this amount of experience, right? Such that when that particular software is reviewing, it checks for the amount of experience. It can easily like find you just use regular expressions to match numbers, and from there you can understand, okay, this particular person applying for this particular position doesn't have this amount of experience for this particular role, then he rejects you. But if your experience is stated clearly in your resume and it matches the role you're applying for, you will definitely get that. You'll be able to pass that level of review by whatever software or human is reviewing your resume. Also, it's also important to be able to like discuss in clarity like things you did in like the previous places you worked, right? So you have this experience, you worked at this particular organization for this particular period of time. What did you do? What are those things that you think are the great things you did? I think we have some disturbance on our call. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue. One thing is there's no way we'll create an event that will be publicly available to people to join willingly. We'll definitely always have the bad eggs. So that's for sure. It's an experience that we get used to. All right. So as I was discussing in your previous positions, you have to discuss in your resume what are the things you did in the previous places you worked in. Is it possible that we configure sort of like access to sharing in the host
That's what
controls?
I'm trying to like check out here.
All right.
Yeah,
I
sorry
think
for the
that would
distraction.
probably help us.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
may proceed.
All right. So you have to configure your resume such that you basically like have stated places you worked and things you did. So say for example, you worked somewhere, you worked in a particular place, you guys built something that's like awesome and people did. Let your resume discuss your contributions to those things, right? Because organizations want to see you as somebody that's innovative, right? You don't just have the skill, you actually have the ability and capacity to use this skill to build something that can impact other people, right? That's something they're also looking out for. So you have to be innovative, and that really has to be reflective on your resume. So this is that part of your resume where when a particular human is reviewing it, right, they can see that okay, this particular thing is present on this particular person's resume. It means this is the type of like person you are dealing with. This is a creative thing. I think we can have this person on our team, or we can give you the benefit of an interview. Let's call you up for an interview and see how well you can perform. So if your resume states those things clearly, it will make a lot of difference. Another thing that's also important to know that you have to add to your resume is
Oh, perfection. Please unmute yourself. So I just disabled people from sharing. Perfection, please unmute yourself. Oh, really? Okay. Just a second, please. Unmute yourself now.
yeah. All right, thank you. So, as I was saying, another thing that you have to look out for on your resume is basically how well you like participate in a team. Like, are you a team person? That's actually very important because what sort of like contribution do you have amongst the team? Not just on the product itself, as like your team members. How well do you relate with them? Are you focused on their growth as well? Do you contribute to their growth? Those particular things are things you have to also let be noted on your resume, right? That, oh, some of my experience working in this place was also involved trying to help my team members grow, helping them out in, challenges they might have and blocking them as necessary. Right? Those particular things also need to be a part of those things you put on your resume because it shows how much of a team person you are. Right. So that's another important thing. Then one thing that's also very essential to note is that experience is an important thing on resumes. So people say, okay, how do I get an experience? It means I have to get hired, right? So that's important. How do I get experience? I have to get hired. How do I get hired? I have to get experience. So that creates like a scenario called a catch 22. I think it's a catch 22 scenario, where what you need is dependent on what you need. So how do you then get what you need? One thing is you have to be ready to like sort of like take the approach of voluntary actions, right? Basically you have to be able to like commit to do something, right, without necessarily taking the power of like, oh, I want to be hired and be paid for this thing. That's something that's important. You need experience, right? People want to pay you for the experience you have, right? They want to hire you and pay for the experience you have, but they can't guarantee that you have the experience. So at some point in time, you might want to. It doesn't necessarily mean this is what everybody has to do. Some people just apply and it works out for them, right? But for some people, they might actually need to like try this approach, and it might have to be what will work for them. So you would probably want to like consider volunteering for some organizations. You can reach out to organizations and say, hey, I see this is what you do. This is the skill I have. I want to actually build something for you guys to gain real world experience, right? Then when I have this experience, I can put you on my resume and then try to use that to like, apply to like things. So that's something you could do. You could like try to like, in that's where the concept of internship comes in, right? We have paid internships, we have unpaid internships. So you could volunteer yourself as an intern that you want to gain experience, real world experience, so that you could layer this experience in on your resume, right? As and have that as an experience that you've gained over the past years and use it to apply to jobs. So you could probably intern somewhere for 6 months, and then from there you could decide to probably start applying for roles. And for some people, they could intern somewhere, and during their internship period, they might do exceptionally well. That the organization might consider taking them in and retaining them as workers within the organization. So those type of things are also things you have to know that you can do for your resume to get position for better opportunities, right? There different nifty things you can like couple into your resume, but those are things that I've applied over the years and it has really like made significant difference, right? There are also some softwares that people use to review resumes, right? Just to like sort of like check how your resume fares well with different things. But I also find it that you reaching out to people that have experience and they've done this thing before you, right? Reaching out to them and tech, requesting that they help you review your resume also makes a lot of difference in like your resume structuring process and all of that. So you should also know that cover letters are actually pretty important too, because your resume has a limit to the things you can talk about, right? You don't have to get your resume too long and too short at the same time, right? So you have to consider um your cover letter. When cover letter is there, try to put a cover letter. It's not compulsory in job applications, but it's actually a pretty good thing. It's a nifty way of like being able to describe more things about yourself, right? But in that way, you could even describe more of like personal things you do, right? Okay, I've worked on this particular personal project before. I enjoy contributing to open source engineering or open source development, right? Those particular things that you've done that you can't put on your resume, your cover letter gives you that space, that luxury of being able to like just slot it in there and give yourself a higher edge. So that's like basically some of those things that are like I've seen to be very essential for resume structuring and job applications in general.
Oh wow, that's that's a lot embedded in such a short time. But thank you for those insights. As you talked about, I think you really covered a lot about cover letter, resume, the importance of resume, and how you should show your experience, and also the importance of internship. Because one of the things we've heard in the past is more of should interns be paid or not, or something. And one of my own personal reservation has been it's not even about being paid or not. If you get an opportunity for a paid internship, proceed with it. Even if it is unpaid, proceed with it, because you are the one, you should just think about the benefit. If you have the right resources to go for it at that time, just time yourself with whatever you need to do. And Profession already explained some of these things, how important internship is, how you should demonstrate all your skill on your resume. So this is more of a personal question, if you'll be willing to share. So, what are those significant things that you can say, or say, how has tech personally changed, let me say, your life as an individual, as a young person living in an African country? How has tech literally changed your life as a young person in an African country?
Yeah, so generally speaking, uh if you sort of like get to start making strides in a particular space, basically, maybe in the tech space, in general, could be could be anything, technical writing, software engineering, product management, product design, literally anything in any space. Could be digital marketing too. It could literally be anything. So if you start making strides in those spaces, right, you will definitely see like some differences in sort of like the things you do and the things you probably think could be possible before. So over the past period of like trying to um set a career in tech, right? I've been opportune to like um experience some positivity in general, right? And I've been able to like improve like sort of like my structure of living, right? And many things that I tend to like want to do, I've been able to like really contribute to many of those things. So for anyone who might probably like know my handle, right, the handle called open source, right? So although our host wrote it in capital letter O, it's actually small letter O. So you might know, if it doesn't matter, though, you can type capital letters, it works, but ideally it's written as small letters. So you might know another handle called Open Source, right? It's Open Source with an S. So that's Open Source. It's a community, right? It was created by me along with, well, me. It was created by me along with me. And it's basically a community that's like built in the open with a focus on like helping like people like in general in the tech space. Right. So that being whatever we are doing at open social community, everything we are doing, everything we are running at the community, right? It has been owing to the fact that tech has right positively impacted my life, right? And if you know the community, you know that we've actually like contributed to a lot of things, and we've been able to like help support a lot of people in different things, right? We have some routine-based things that we do. Initially, we started out with data giveaways that happen every week, right? Then recently we started like more with laptop giveaways that happen every month. So it's something that tech has basically like been impactful, and it has helped me to be able to like drive that community well. My own focus is majorly more like being able to like support as many people as I can, right? Essentially that's like how I see the bigger picture in life. And being able to like do more of those things has been owing a lot to being in the tech space, right? So and essentially that's like how much I can like let you know that being in the tech space has positively impacted like the things I do and the possibility of the things that I want to do, right? Like, it's like changing as time goes on. So like yeah, these things that you probably don't think possible before. Um Over time, making positive strides, it makes them possible.
Whoa, thank you for that insight again, because uh, I think that was more centered around doing. You're able to do what you love. So I know that there's a point of fulfillment. I mean, there's a point in life whereby you want to be successful. So there's always a difference between success and fulfillment. Success is all about you want to achieve what you have done. I mean, you want to achieve something. But when it comes to fulfillment, you want to help people as much as possible, people to come into tech space. But all of these things need resources, right? Like some people will say, "Oh, I have vision or I have dreams to, build orphanage, to give to the poor, to do, you have like different aspiration, like you want to do." One of the ways of actually uh, achieving those aspirations is actually by taking a step to becoming that person you want to be. And that starts from having these valuable skills that can push you forward to get that one thing that you want to achieve. So to round this up, profession, it's been an amazing an insightful section so far, I must confess. So as a closing remark, what would be your key message or advice for the audience to empower them in their quest to become that valuable or global asset in the tech industry? What will be your message to everybody who is trying to become one? Yeah, perfection, you're
Sorry,
muted.
sorry, I
Okay,
did
yeah.
not get you clearly. I think I at the point the audio sort of like went off.
Okay, the question was quite straightforward. So, what is that message you have for anyone who is trying to become a global asset, or anybody coming into the tech space that wants to do or give back to the community, or just wants to achieve their aspiration as far as tech is concerned? What's your
Yeah,
message? Yeah.
yeah. All right. Thank you. So in recap, that sort of like links back to the initial subject of being understanding that you have to be committed to what you want to do, right? So you want to get into the tech space. The first thing is to understand that this is just like a space like any other. Although for me, I'm more of like inclined to not say, oh, tech space, right? The only reason why you probably hear me saying the tech space is literally because that's the way people understand it. It's been generally described as such. But it's just like anything in general. It's just industry, right? And it's just like any natural thing you want to do, you have to be committed to it. It's like, oh, this is say for example, your education. You would have to be committed to knowing that you want to pass or you want to come out with flying colors, right? Or yeah, all of those things. So when you know this is what you want to do, right, you must be ready to commit to what you want to do. So if you know you want to make strides in this space you are entering into, you must be committed to put in the effort that is definitely required to make the strides that you so desire in the particular space. It's not going to be easy for sure. That's one thing, and I think it's even cliche to keep mentioning that. But it's definitely not a straightforward stuff, and you can really make much more progress and strive even further if you are in a structured space. You definitely always have like that much difference uh, in your journey and in your learning journey because you would like have people that are there for you to give you clarity on things you need, right? Or help you in uh any way they can possibly help your learning, like in terms of like training, right? Mentorship, those type of things, right? Maybe you are trying to do something and you experience like a blocker or something, right? You've probably done like a lot of research and you can't figure out what's going on. You have someone you can easily reach out to because they've already gone through the phase and they can just tell you, oh, this is the problem you're having, right? I get people that ask me some things and I just tell them, oh, this is the problem. I literally just look at what they are doing and I say, oh, this is the problem. It's online, something, something. It's basically just because it's something I've been doing like for a lot of time, right? And I've committed a lot of like uh time of mine and dedication and stuff to try to like understand it. So and in that way, in that manner, I'm able to like help other people like me to understand it better. And that makes it simpler for other people that are coming after to be able to like, make progress faster in what they do. So which is why I'll literally just say be committed and if you are in any way to like put yourself on a structured path, put yourself on that structured path, it makes a lot of difference. And I would
Oh
just
wow.
hope to see at the top.
Oh, thank you. Are you done? Or is okay? It's done actually. Thank you for those wonderful insights. I'll just take two questions. Yes, from the audience. I'll just take two questions. So if you have any question, kindly raise your hand so we can tell you to mute. If you have any question, you have any question you want to ask perfection so far, based on the thing that he has mentioned.
All right, so I think there's someone that's been raising hand since the very beginning. I'm not sure
Okay, Gloria
why.
James. Gloria, probably it's a mistake.
Most likely.
Okay, so I think someone else was raising hand there.
So I'm seeing some people are uh raising their hand and dropping it as fast as they can. I'm not sure
Okay,
if you want to ask a question or you're just testing the feature.
okay, wisdom. I think someone is there now. Wisdom, you can unmute yourself.
All right. Are you listening?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Good evening, by the way.
Good evening.
I really enjoyed this session, but I have a few questions. So,
Oh,
software engineering is actually very interesting, and I personally am interested in coding and have done a bit. I'm at intermediate level so far. I'm to, totally more interested in ethical hacking. So, in the aspects of ethical hacking, it's kind of tricky, yeah? Because people I have worked with, they have a way of telling you that ethical hacking is cybersecurity and it is safe and unsafe at the same time. So, coming from a female that wants to enter that particular aspect of tech, are there any advices you would give or any opinions from you as a professional on how to relate on or how to become that global asset in that particular aspect of tech?
Um, Thank you for your question. So let me just sort of like approach it from the perspective of something that sort of like happened more recently. So I think your first concern is the part where you mentioned that some people said blacking is safe unsafe. Um, Essentially, it's called ethical because it's an hacking mechanism that sort of like tries to um, probe systems for security flaws in the hope of trying to improve it. So, for example, the world's most famous hacker actually, right, was a formerly was an unethical hacker, we call that black hat hacking or something, right? So he he has been like arrested by the FBI. He has done a lot of stuff, and then he eventually now he decided to like move into ethical hacking and start using his hacking skills for a positive thing. And he created this company called Know Before. You might want to probably check out the company to Know Before, and you might want to check out his probably lectures. His name is Kevin Mitnick, right? So Kevin Mitnick get hired to by top companies like Microsoft, Google and the likes to probe their system for security flaws and sort of like try to like let them know the things that they can improve upon. Active hacking goes beyond just direct code-based hacking. It involves social engineering as well. So there are a lot of things that are involved in the whole space, and it's like it means to a positive thing. It's a focus towards trying to do positive thing, improve software reliability for everyone in general, not just for the company. Because if you help improve the software, it will benefit the customers themselves because there could be a data breach that could affect the customers, right? So all those things is more of like a means to a positive good. Now there are like organizations, communities in general, right, that are like controlled by females in the space, right? I have a friend, right? Um, I have a friend that is into like cybersecurity related stuff, ethical hacking in general, right? And she's quite popular on Twitter, right? Known for what she does. She like takes a lot of like certifications and all of these things in like cybersecurity stuff, right? So I don't much of like because the last part of your question was sort of like inclined towards gender, because you made mention of as a female trying to get into this thing. I wouldn't tell you to sell yourself back. It's a space that is rapidly growing as much more organizations evolve and come up, they tend to continually see the need for having security teams aboard, right? You need to have because you just have to be able to understand that the system you are building is secure enough to be put to the public, right? Or the system you are building is like safe enough for the users that want to make use of it. And for this particular purpose, organizations are hiring people in the space of like ethical hacking in general. What you just have to focus on is not your gender or whatsoever, or whether it is safe or not. What you have to focus on is who are the people that have done this thing before, right? What is the adaptation of this particular thing in the world in general, in the space in general, and then focus on what are the things I have to do to become like exceptional in this field. What are those things you have to do to be exceptional? Once you know those particular things, you just have to keep putting that effort into them while putting yourself in a community, right? A particular community that would like help you grow, right? So I'm trying to like I wanted to like try to check for a particular lady that organizes. Maybe if you probably could send me a message on Twitter or something, I could check for that particular lady that leads a particular cybersecurity community. Right? It's a community of ethical hackers trying to like grow themselves, their skills, and all of that, bringing up new people that are even in the space, and it's run by a lady, right? So I don't see any gender imposition nor gender setback nor anything. I just have to see a big picture of big opportunity where you could plug yourself into this growing space and become exceptional and become a global asset. I don't know if that sort of like puts perspective to your questions or if you have if a way you want it to be approached differently.
Hi, Wisdom. Kindly unmute yourself. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Perfection, for that question. Oh, our time is fast spent. So, Godwin, I would like that you ask the question as fast as possible, so we can wrap up. We have a few minutes left on this call, and I don't want to take your time. All right, Godwin, unmute yourself. Hello, Godwin. Okay, I guess we can continue with the other parts of the webinar. Thank you so much, Perfection. I mean, that was very impactful so far. I mean, the things you've talked about, they are actually, say, it's just something everybody should know. Anybody coming into the tech space, if you have the right knowledge. Oh, Godwin, you're here. Okay, can you ask your question
Yeah.
as fast as possible?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My question is this: for a person who is actually coming into the tech space, it's actually so challenging. But is it actually very easy for because I am a student, a mathematics student, and I intend going into cybersecurity. And that's one part which I so like. But the challenges, yes, is it actually easy for a person who has financial challenges to easily venture in there, or is there any other means you could do it and get to the point where you think you've achieved a whole lot? Hello?
Okay, Perfection.
Sorry, at the point I couldn't really get clearly. Is your question around the concept of how a student can get into this space? I'm really not sure I'm getting the full picture of your question.
Yeah, my question is how apart from going into this space and someone who is a bit financially challenged, how easy is it for that person to actually scale through? That's what I mean.
Oh yeah. So that's a good question too. In the power of like getting a structured being on a structured path um is actually very essential. But if you are sort of like unable to probably put yourself on a paid financial structure, communities are there, they exist, right? We have communities in Polatrek, we have communities in Old School Africa, we have communities in ALX, right? We have different communities in different organizations that exist, right? And some of these like communities are like open for anyone to come in, ask questions, right? Say, oh, I want to get started in this particular field. What are the things I need to do? What are those things you think I need to like learn? Should I pick up this particular thing? Is this the right thing for me to pick up? Those communities really exist, right? And you just have to be a part of them and be ready to put your commitment to what you are doing. So for sure, you can, whether you don't have sort of like the financial capacity to set yourself on a structured path. That isn't a sort of like direct relationship with say, oh, you can't probably make strides in this space. No, the fact that you probably are not able to like put yourself in that structure doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you won't, that's the end of the journey. No, that's not the end of the journey. It's the starting of another road to something even more positive. So I think I don't know if that makes sense to you, but um that's basically the answer to it.
I guess your answer is, I mean, your question is answered, right? Gordon.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you, Perfection. Please, in the comment section, if you can clap, if you can send emojis, just appreciate Perfection for those insights that he has given. You can put great there if you enjoy everything that he has explained. So that's Perfection. Thank you, Perfection, for those, those insightful teachings and everything that I've mentioned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I promised everybody that everyone should wait till the end of the webinar. So within the few minutes that is left, I want to show you something. So now it's one thing for also I've talked about how you can become a global asset, how you can do this, how you can do that, how you can do this. It won't be okay if we cannot be the one to actually put you on this same structured path, on this structured journey, on this same path that we want you to follow. So what exactly is this gift? So I want to, so I have something for you. So number one is you can't buy success. So the thing is, based on what I said, a lot of people have actually been given opportunity. They've been told about, can you mute yourself? A lot of people have actually talked about opportunities. They talked about how can I get into the tech space? How can I do this? Or how can I start making the same millions and all? But this thing is all about understanding where to start from and how to start. So if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme or a magic bullet, this is not for you. Don't waste your time further in proceeding with what I want to say. We're talking about a real opportunity, a real opportunity where you can boldly come out anywhere. I have been stopped by policemen several times, and I comfortably drop my laptop. They try to, harass. They check my safe sometimes in the car, and they try to, they do a lot of things because you know the kind of country that we have at the moment. But then if you can prove that this is what you do and all, you can still make this legit money that we're talking about. This is a real opportunity to live the life of your dreams. We heard about how Perfection actually explained different things that he could do. These are personal aspiration. One thing I tell people is that I know you have aspiration. What you use your money for, I don't really care, but I want to help you make that money because I know that if everybody is happy on the streets, we would conveniently put our properties out and we would say we can walk freely on the road. That's one of my motivations of also helping people. I don't care about what you use the money for, but I want to help you if you are willing to be helped so that we can have a sane community where everybody lives a good life and a peaceful life. So here is a opportunity of a lifetime that you shouldn't miss. So our School of Engineering is opening at the moment. So myself and my team, we have some courses that we are pushing out for you, that we believe that if you have this skill, it is an opportunity to actually kickstart this tech career we're talking about. So one of the things we are going to be showing you is how you can pick the right tech skill as a beginner. And when we're talking about the what of what this can be, because we'll show you all the skills and we show you each and every of the skill. Okay, this is what you need to do here, this is what you need to do here, and this is what you need to do that. Check the one that actually fits you. Here you will also learn why many people fail as tech enthusiasts, because we're not just coming in to come and tell you that, oh, this is how to this is what you need to, what you are learning, this and that. No, we tailor it down to your personality, and we try to help you see why people fail in tech, and we don't want that to happen to you as well. We also learn how to discover the best tech career for your base, for you based on your interest and personality. So, which I've already explained. So we have like 6 months online coaching with live classes. So how does this work? We give you a structured and supervised learning to build that rapid tech career. Our major aim is to help you start a journey. So what exactly is this journey we are talking about? We plug you into a system that after 6 months that you are plugged into the system, you are able to say, I have started a career, and at the very end, you have a mighty and awesome portfolio. You have an awesome and a mighty portfolio that can help you kickstart that tech career that we're talking about. Another thing here is that here you'll be taught from scratch any career of your choice that you want to enter, any career of your choice, whereby you are able to pick, say you want to pick web development as a whole, now say front-end development. You have an instructor who is an industry expert. So if you have an industry expert who understands what is going, just imagine you have somebody like Perfection training you on how to become a software engineer. Someone like Perfection training you, or if I personally come in also to come and teach you how to become a product manager, or you have someone else coming. When we say industry expert, we mean guys that are in that space, guys that are actually instructing you based on what is happening on the field. Also, you'll be taken by the hands, even if you are a novice in the tech space. So, which means you don't have to know anything. You can actually access all of these courses. So access to industry expert, like I've mentioned, and coaches. One of the most interesting things is that you will get access to experts in the industry with track record of success. So if I'm going to if you're going to see someone to train you on products or someone to train you in software engineering, it's not just about the coding. We teach you about how to develop yourself. It's one thing to say, I know how to write code, but it's one thing to say, I know how to write a bug-free code that will push to production. We teach you process management, how industries or how the industry is actually responding to technology. And also, you have access to our community, which is our Tech Movers community, where we share insights, updates, and in our community, there's none of our programs that you would miss. Access to 3-month constant mentorship, and also this will not be like other trainings. They will leave you to figure out things on your own. So whereby when you're done, we plug you into an internship. So we have connected with some of our partners at the moment, where we place you directly on products that are going live or products that are already live, which you can put on your resume. And putting all of this on your resume means that people can reference the product you have worked on. And that's one of the best way to actually start a career or get your first job, because we can reference, oh, you worked on this grade, you worked on this, you worked on that. I have given somebody a job before because the person told me. I interned at a company that was developing a bank application. I won't mention that company. And what did I was just like, oh, this is great. So you mean you were the one that worked on this same screen I'm saying? Oh, that's great. Let me try your hands out. And I tried this out and I saw that it was good. But how would I have known that it could give me such if he had no evidence? So one of the benefits of internship is that it gives you evidence of what you can do. So, or it gives your employer evidence of what you can personally do. So, also, access to remote job opportunities. That is, so this will help you to see the remote job opportunities that are around you, because one of the things in the tech space is that if you're working in the tech space, you most likely would be working remotely. Of course, I work remotely. I work with all the companies I've ever worked with. I've never worked from the office. Why? Because that's not what I would ever see myself doing. Okay, so we have professional guidance that we're also going to be giving to you, how to build your portfolio and also your resume. So we have some courses that are already recorded, which you get as add-on if you have, when you are done with your training, we help you structure the portfolio because you must have taken series of projects, and also when you go on internship, these are the things that you probably be using. And one of the interesting thing about internship is that if you truly do well, that might be the first way of getting your job. I have people I've worked with in the past whereby they joined internship and at the very end, because of how good they were or the level of their growth. Trust me, companies are actually, I will tell you this for free. Companies are actually looking out for people that are good, that they can pay lesser. So now let me explain what I mean. Companies are out there, they know that if they hire a junior developer at times and they put junior developer out there, they might want to pay that person, say something around 300, 200 to 300K as a front-end developer. But if they hire an intern, they probably say, okay, let's give an intern 80,000 naira. And when you give an intern 80,000, it feels like, oh, I'm learning, I am also doing this. Okay, that's fine. And at the very end of the training, when they tell the intern that, okay, for the next 6 months, we want you to still work with us, I want to pay you 150K. Trust me, you might be like, okay, wow, this is an opportunity, you are happy. But both the company and you are enjoying because they gave you opportunity. They gave you a benefit of that. Like, okay, let's bring you as an intern. Let's see if you can work with. So both the companies save costs because very soon you might want to leave that company or you negotiate for a better salary when you truly know that you have your grounds and you're already good. But then the benefit of internship is that some of you can get your first job through internship, and a lot of people have this kind of testimony today. So yeah, with all the things that I've mentioned, you might probably be looking out to take a course of 600K. Of course, we are not going to be charging you that. No, we are not going to be charging you 300K and not even 150K. You understand that this may be on the high side. Why? Because you are on this call, probably you are looking out for opportunities on how to kickstart a career in tech. And we should be able to listen to you and also look at this. I have some amazing offer that has never happened before. This is going to be like our first opportunity that we're giving to people because we've seen over the years that many people actually want to do this. We have gone extra mile to bring this opportunity to you right now as I speak. This is an opportunity to actually live the better life. I don't know what you want to use your money for, but everybody have aspiration. They know they want have something in their mind they want to do, not necessarily what they want to hit. But then here is what you're paying as far as this course is concerned. In this course, you're going to be learning for a full 6 months. You're going to be learning backend development and several other stack that you pick. Our School of Engineering is already open. So for 6 months, you will be in an incubation program. And after a 6 months of incubation program, we then move you into internship for 3 months with with companies that we are partnering with to put you inside their talent pool. Look at what you'll be learning. You have opportunity to work with engineering managers of companies. You have opportunity to work with product managers. You have opportunity to work with product management tools. And mind you, when you are taking your training with Collateral, you are going to be learning things on product management because we know you are going to be working on products and not just mere projects, products that are going live. So, which means if you learn with us, there are things you are going to be learning on product management because you need to have a basic understanding of how product works. It's very necessary. And also, when you're done with all of this, you are going to also have access to, several other materials, network of people, and we have in-house project that we can also place you on, which would have, and we have some of our past trainees that are working on the products that we are working on at Colacheck at the moment, which is going to be shipped into the market very soon. And these are guys that started as novice. They started as mere software engineers, and I'm going to be dropping links to testimonial videos that you can watch because I want to save your time, and I'm going to be rounding up as fast as possible now. So if you want to have more details about this course, so here is the opportunity we have for you from our School of Engineering. You can start a career in data science, back-end engineering, and front-end engineering in 6 months. You can apply now at scholarcheck.io, and this is not all that I am still offering you. We know that it's, I've showed you the price, and we know that it's, some might have challenges with, oh, will I be able to pay this amount? Will I be able to do this? We have partnered with a company. Look at this. We have an exciting announcement. With 20, we are introducing a buy now and pay later scheme. So which is with 20% of your tuition fee. So what am I saying? With 20% of your tuition fee of 100K, you can start a career in tech. You can start a career in tech. And we have opened this application to you. If you want to do this, we are going to be dropping links to all of this. Go to abrify.xyz/asleep to secure your place. If you want to offer, if you want to get this opportunity, I'm going to be dropping different links in the comment section as I speak right now. Go to colacheck.io/courses. You will see the payment option. Either you want to pay directly. I think I should just probably demo that to you so you can see. So all you need to do is just very easy. You go to colacheck.io and you get to see this screen, and you go to our list of courses to pick any course of your choice. Say you're picking backend development now, and we have different payment options. You choose to start your career with this, or you want to pay with ACID, and this leads you to a form that you fill, and you'll be able to pay on the go, because we want the training to be very, very easy for you to attend, because we understand that if you have the means of getting this done, becoming a global asset should stop being wishes. But if you have the opportunity to start it right now, I think you should start to secure your place. And as I was doing this, I feel like I want to give another opportunity. So which is, application has opened right now, and resumption is going to be by 24th of July 2023. So we are opening the application from tomorrow, so which means from 11th of June to the 23rd of July, our application is going to be up and running. You can either choose to pay with a seat, that is, you want to go in an instrumental where you can even pay up to 5 times, which I believe is a very wonderful opportunity that you can pick for yourself, or you pay outrightly. And I believe this is going to help anybody that is picking this up right now. Okay, so why should you learn with Colacheck? So the first thing is we offer a structured and supervised learning with industry experts. So we are committed into raising up to 10,000 talents by 2026. Do you want to be part of this talent that we are raising? To say by 2026, we want to be able to have up to 10,000 talent that we have raised. We train you for 6 months, then place you on internship. So some of the benefits you have is that you have access to paid and unpaid internship. We help you launch your career in tech. We have some of our alumni who have been placed on internship in the past. We build relevant resume and portfolio, access to resources. So when you learn with us at Colacheck, the end of your learning is going to be that your 3rd month of internship in a professional company that is building products. And I believe that And I believe that this is going to help as much as possible people that are coming into tech to start their career. The YouTube videos that you've taken so far may not have helped you with speed. We heard perfection when you mentioned things like being in a structured part, staying inside a place that is confined, that helps you. How it has helped me also, and it helped me to boost my career because I was able to just plug myself into this. And it shouldn't just be my testimony alone. I want it to also be a testimony of yours as well. If you are willing to do this, I will still put the link on the screen so that, oh, I'll still put the link on the screen so you can see that right now. So go to collateral.io/courses. We have two payment options and all. And you can also reach out to any of the admins if you are on the WhatsApp group. I'm going to drop that WhatsApp group now on the chat so that you can. The link to the WhatsApp group, I'm going to be dropping that on the chat right now so you can access that. So that's so that is the link. So does anybody have any question? Because I want to round up and okay, Adebukumi. All right, so can I hear from you? You can unmute yourself. Okay, you can unmute yourself. All right. Okay, probably that was a mistake from him. Do I have any other question before I round up the call? Okay, so the call is going to be okay. Someone else promise you can unmute yourself.
Um, Good evening, everyone. So my question is the program only for this let me just say year? Will it
No,
take place next year too?
it's a program in continuation.
Sir, I don't get, sir.
So it's a program it's a program that we continue. So it's not going to end this year. We run it in batches. So each cohort. So we always open application for new batch of students.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
All right. All right. So if you have any question, please do well to post on the community, on the community group that you've been added, and the community is still going to be left active for you all to see if you want to access that. So I'm going to be stopping the recording. Thank you so much for attending tonight. It's been an amazing ride with you all. Thank you and have a wonderful night.